Hello everyone, this is Jared Olmstead, and I am doing this video just to kind of let you all know for this upcoming Monday for your speeches, some things I'm going to be looking for. I know that a lot of you were concerned about the content and things like that, and so I just wanted you to know and see what I was going to be grading for this upcoming Monday. I wanted you to know that for your manuscripts, I will not be regrading the content, meaning that the points that you have and all that I'm not going to grade for. I will be looking, though, at if you have an appropriate outline, the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. And so that's really, as far as format goes, that's the one thing I'll be looking for. But the biggest thing I'm going to be looking for this upcoming Monday for these speeches is audience engagement. Now, some of you, the Monday that I was up in Selma, already heard a little bit about this, but I'm just going to explain to you what I mean when I say audience engagement and the 5 things that make up audience engagement as far as I'm concerned, and sort of what that looks like. So I'm going to give you an example. The first thing I look for in audience engagement is appearance. How do you look? Now, I understand, like today, I'm not looking the best. I was just at the gym working out. Yes, I do actually work out. But with appearance, what I mean when I say appearance, I am not expecting you all to dress up in like a 3-piece suit or just flowing dress or something like that. The rule of thumb for appearances in a speech is know your audience, and you know who your audience is. It's all your fellow students, all your fellow students, and you're supposed to dress up one step above. Now, for this speech, since all of you basically dress not the same but very similarly, what I will look for in this is make sure that you don't dress in a way that distracts from the speech. What I mean when I say that is, like, consider this: if I were to go out in the street and pull in just some guy who was dressed in like a torn up t-shirt, torn jeans, and things like that, that would be distracting. If you wear glasses, that's fine. No sunglasses. You want to keep your eyes open, but also if you don't want to wear a hat, you want to, because anything that covers your face is not good. Think of it like this: if you can't see somebody's face, how much do you actually trust them? And so that's the first thing, is appearance. And realistically, ladies, if you have jewelry, that's fine. If you wear earrings, or even guys, I don't really care if you have an earring in your ear, but don't make sure that they're not like these big dangling things. Anything that will distract. Make it small, make it nice, and make it small. So appearance, the first thing right off the bat, that is anything that's distracting will lose you points. The second thing, and I wish that I could do this in class because it's a lot easier to show. It's harder on a video, but is eye contact. Now, I understand that looking people in the face is difficult when giving a speech, especially when you do not have experience in it. But again, think of it like this: if you're talking to somebody and they won't look you in the eye, how do you feel about that person? Do you trust them? More than likely not. And so you want to try to maintain eye contact, or at least the appearance of eye contact. So there's 2 ways that you can do this. One is actually look people in the face. Just look them in the face. And it's good to do that, actually, because people will give you nonverbal feedback. It's really, I had a student a few years back who I really, really liked looking him in the face because he was always really engaged. He would look at me, he would lean forward, he would smile, he would shake his head yes, and things like that. And it was really, really fun to talk to him. And so with a classroom, we know that our classroom is long. So that means, though, that you don't want to just look at one person. You want to pick like 3 or 4 spots or people to look at and alternate, so that you are engaging everyone. This is very important. You want to engage everyone because you're talking to an audience. And so, yes, eye contact, look them in the face. If you can't do that, another thing to do, and here, let me move this. All right. Another thing that you can do is you find a spot right over there, right over somebody's head, like say right about here. If you were looking right here, there we go, right there. And again, choose 3 or 4 spots on the back wall in the classroom, and you can look left, you can look right, you can look center, and that'd be a good three spots. And what that does is that gives the appearance as though you were looking at their face. And so still you can do that audience engagement, bring people in, and that's really good. So we have appearance, nothing that is distracting, no hats, no big earrings or anything like that. Eye contact, either actually look people in the face, and which I would really encourage you to try. But if you can't do that, just a spot over their head. The third thing we're looking for is vocal clarity. Now, vocal clarity is actually made up of three things: breathing, projection, and pronunciation. Now, I'm not, if I feel that you're breathing incorrectly, you're not going to lose points on that. But when I say breathing, it is very important to breathe properly in order to be able to project. And so I'm going to show you what real breathing looks like. You know, whenever somebody says, take a deep breath, most people will do this. And you see the shoulders move up, the chest kind of moves up too, but nothing else happens. And actual breathing, actual appropriate breathing looks more like this. All right, so don't judge me, but okay, you see my stomach. Yes, it's already protruding a little bit, but when I take in a deep breath, this is what happens. Watch my stomach. The stomach moves out. The reason this happens is because your lungs are right there. And basically your lungs are like these balloons. And whenever you fill up a balloon goes out. Now your chest and your shoulders are going to raise a little bit when you do that. But the biggest movement will come from your stomach. And what happens here is that right above your stomach there is this muscle called the diaphragm. And the diaphragm is the muscle that's sort of in charge of helping you project. And so think of it as it's being called diaphragmatic breathing. And it allows you to project. And understand that projection actually has nothing to do with loud or soft. You can actually project and whisper and still be heard and understood at the back of the room. It's called a stage whisper in drama. So if you're on a stage and during a performance, you can whisper and people can still hear you and still understand you because you have enough breath support. And so that's projection. Projection is the ability for me to be able to understand what you are saying that you're projecting, and that you can lose points on. The third thing in vocal clarity, so we have breathing, proper breathing, projection, and then pronunciation. Now, I understand we live in South Alabama. I understand that. And so we tend to slur our words and words go together, mix up, and sometimes this is okay. As long as we can understand you, that's fine. But for the most part, what you want to do is ensure that I can understand what you are saying, not because I can or can't hear you, but that you are speaking clearly. This actually can help you when it comes, as far as time is concerned. It's a 2-minute speech, which isn't that long, but still, in order to pronounce words correctly, one of the things that you can do to help with this is take your time. Think about what you are saying, think about it before you say it, and give it the appropriate amount of time needed. You don't want to speak too slowly, but you also don't want to speak so quickly that we cannot hear you, or understand you, I'm sorry. And so pronunciation. And like I said, a little bit is fine. If you can't do anything about your accent. And so if you have a southern accent, I'm not going to take off points for that. But you want to ensure that we can understand your words clearly. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for in vocal clarity. Breathing, proper breathing. Projection, can I hear you even if you're speaking lowly? Because there might be times where you actually want to whisper. And then pronunciation, can I understand your words? The fourth thing I'm looking for is vocal variety. Vocal variety has to do with using your voice to engage the audience. So it has nothing to do with what you're saying, but it has to do with how you say it. The first thing, and it's made up of three things. The first thing I listen for is the speed or rate at which you speak. Now, understand you're going to speak quickly. You're going to be nervous, which is fine. It happens. You're going to be nervous. And when we get nervous, one of the things that happens naturally is that our voice gets a little bit quicker. We talking a lot faster, and we run over our words. We want to be able to take time. You can use both speeding up and slowing down in order to engage your audience. It lets your audience know when things are important. Yes, you want to have sort of a baseline speed for people to talk, But then you're also going to want to use slower or quicker speech. And so if you say you're talking about something exciting, you start speaking more quickly so that people understand this is exciting. We're talking about it, and I want you to pay attention because it's exciting. And then sometimes after you speak very quickly so people understand you, stop. And the difference that happens in the rate can actually pull your audience in. They're listening to you and they hear a change in speed, nothing else but a change in speed, and that grabs their attention. So speed, or the rate in which you speak. The second thing in vocal variety is pitch, how high or low you speak. Now this goes with speed a little bit because the quicker we speak, usually the higher we speak. We start speaking in our head voice when we speak quickly. And this is fine, it works. If you want to do voices sometimes, using different pitches, again, can engage your audience, can pull them in, make them realize, hey, there's something a little bit different happening. But if you feel yourself losing a little control, and you start speaking very quickly, and you start speaking in a higher register, one trick that you can use to kind of combat that is actually lower your pitch, because it is actually impossible for you to speak more quickly at a lower pitch. And so if you're getting excited and you start speeding up, and then you also start raising your voice a little bit, and you're talking in your head voice, and you realize that you're doing this, all of a sudden you stop. You lower your pitch, and you will naturally go slower. And again, it pulls your audience in because they realize there's a difference. Something just happened. So speed, pitch, and then finally volume. You don't want to always speak in a very loud voice. You don't always want to speak in a soft voice. Remember, projection is important, but volume is also important. And so you're getting excited, you're speaking louder, you're getting higher, you're getting louder, and then all of a sudden, a little bit softer, slower, softer. It pulls people in. And so I'll look, do you use volume? Do you use speed, the rate, pitch, changes in this? And something that you can do is on your notes, on your speaking notes, because you will be allowed to use notes to speak, you can write in notes. Here, speed up, slow down. Raise your voice, lower your voice, get louder, get softer. You want to put these little markings in your notes, whether you use a manuscript or if you use a speaking notes, however you do it, little index cards is fine. Excuse me. But you want to put these notes in your speech, especially if you're not used to giving speeches. Going back, so we've looked at appearance, eye contact, vocal clarity, and vocal variety. Going back to the eye contact, something that I did miss is also in your speech. Write in your speech sometimes. Look up. Because if you're reading your speech to us, this happens. And you look down, and all of a sudden, it sounds like you're mumbling, I can't understand you, which is pronunciation and clarity. And you're muffled, and so you're doing this, and look up. So you look up, you look us, you get the eye contact to get that audience engagement. So appearance, eye contact, vocal clarity, and in vocal clarity, breathing, projection, and pronunciation. Vocal variety, which is made up of speed, the speed or rate in which you speak, your voice pitch, how high or low you speak, and then also your volume. The final thing that we're going to look at is what's called your stage presence. And basically, this is how do you use movement in your speech. You may have noticed that I use my hands a lot when I speak. Now, I try not to overuse them because here's the thing. There is difference in effective movement and distracting movement. And much like your appearance, you want to make sure that any movement that you have is intentional and doesn't take away from the speech. So if I were to sit here and talk to you and just do this, like start waving my hands around, this would be distracting. And nobody would understand why I'm doing this. But with points that I make, sometimes I bring my hands out, and I just make points, and you will notice with my hands that I talk a lot with my hands. I'm going to try and have a podium there for us to use, but you want to ensure also with the stage presence not to lean on whatever you have your notes on. So one of the things that you can do with practice is practice movement. Make it intentional. Write in your notes again. Here, step away here. Look up there, use your hands here. And so you want to make sure to use effective movement, mostly with your hands, but also with your body. When you look some way, and we're going to try and combine all of them, if you look some way, go ahead and start walking that way a little bit, looking the other way, walk back, have that center point, have that focal point, but use your body movement to engage different audiences, different parts of the audience, and just ensure that people are pulled in. So those are the 5 things. I'm going to actually send you also, along with this link, I'm going to send you a picture of the 5 things that I'm looking for: appearance, eye contact, vocal clarity, vocal variety, and presence. But you'll be able to understand what all of those mean. So that's pretty much it. This is what I'm going to be looking for. Now, as far as grading goes, appearance and presence will be 10 points each, and then eye contact, vocal variety, and vocal clarity will be 20 points each, which will be 20, 40, 60, 70. And then as far as time goes, it is a 2-minute speech. I give a 15-second grace period either way. So you can go 2 minutes and 15 seconds or 1 minute and 45 seconds. And you're still fine. You still get full points for that. But after that, I start taking off points. And so for every 5 seconds either way, I'll take off some points. And you know what? I told you wrong. It's for appearance, that's 10 points. And then eye contact through presence, that's 20 points, which is 90 points. And then time. And also, did you use the outline? Did you use an introduction, a body, and a conclusion? Will be the rest of the 10 points for your speech. So the makeup is 100 points, 10 for appearance, 10 for time and outline, and then 80 from eye contact, vocal clarity, vocal variety, and presence. And I'll actually have your grades on that day the way that I do. I'll have a form filled out, and you'll be able to, and so after you give your speeches, I'll have a time where we stop and we talk about it, so if you have any concerns about that. And so that is basically it for your speeches. That's what I'm looking for. And so if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. You have my phone number. Give me a call, because with this, I like to talk to you so that I can explain a little bit more. You can tell me sort of what you're thinking, and I can give you some feedback there. I mean, we can do it over email, but for this, I like to actually, I actually like to talk to you about that. So anyway, if you have any questions, give me a call. All right, thank you. Bye.